Within the horror industry, one performance is usually credited as the best for a villain, and that's Anthony Hopkins' version of Hannibal Lecter. And since we're in February, when 3 out of the 5 film adaptations were released, we're going to be taking a look at the unmade Hannibal film and TV shows to celebrate this nearly 40-year-old franchise. Now, the Hannibal series is one of the most notable for its varying quality, with 2 very critically praised films holding a 94% of Rotten Tomatoes, one of which even won several Oscars, 2 mixed received films, and 1 critically destroyed film which was a box office disappointment, along with a very well received TV show. But how could the franchise have been any different? Would it have changed people's perception if some of these films were made, if some of these concepts were made, or if we're being honest, some of the films that we got weren't made at all? So let's take a look at what could have happened to the Hannibal franchise with the unmade Hannibal projects. This entry is more of a what-if scenario compared to the rest, as prior to the book being released, Jodie Foster spoke numerous times about being excited for a Silence of the Lambs sequel. She even stated that she would definitely be part of it. However, when the novel was actually released and she read the script, she turned it down instantly, basically due to, that final scene. Julianne Moore did an amazing job in the role in my opinion, but the film would have probably turned out quite different if Foster remained involved, be it through script changes, her character doing a better arc than in the final project, and possibly even changing the entire final scenes, arguably the most famous parts of the film. Now, in my personal opinion, Hannibal was a huge letdown compared to the original, so just hearing this what-if scenario sounds so awesome, but yeah, it's something that would never happen in a million years. Following on from the very mixed reception to Hannibal whilst Red Dragon was in production, Hannibal Lecter himself, Anthony Hopkins, wrote his own film concept as a direct sequel to the 2001 Ridley Scott film. Focused around Hannibal and Clarice Starling going head to head, ending with Hannibal finally dying by his lover/enemy's hands. Not much else is known about the project except that it would not follow any of the books written by Thomas Harris and was planned to end the film series and possibly even the book series for good. However, the film was never made, and instead Hannibal Rising was made, written by Harris, who was apparently forced to write the book and the screenplay for the film, otherwise he'd not be able to show Hannibal's origins because they wanted that movie out now. It's a shame because Hopkins is a great actor. I'm very, very sad that we couldn't see how he could translate his amazing acting skills to script writing, but even so, the Hannibal series is at least done now, and we don't have to focus on any more films tarnishing the Silence of the Lambs anymore. A TV show adaptation of Silence of the Lambs began in 2012, which was planned to partially adapt the novel Silence of the Lambs as well as continue the story, focusing of course on Clarice Starling. The show would have delved deeper into her character and her relationship with Hannibal as well as some of the other characters. However, the show kind of disappeared when the Hannibal TV show began. Surprisingly though, Clarice has been revived this year and will now instead be just a direct sequel to the 1991 film, following straight after the events of it. Not much else is currently known about the project, but hopefully it is set in the same universe as the Hannibal TV programme and could technically be seen as Hannibal Season 4. Following the critically acclaimed first 3 seasons of Hannibal, show creator Brian Fuller had planned 7 seasons of Hannibal to air. The first 3 were released between 2013 to 2015 and showed Hannibal's new origin to replace Hannibal Rising, but it was cancelled during season 3 due to very low ratings. The initial plan for the show's 7 seasons would have season 4 planned to adapt the book Red Dragon, tying up Will and Graham's story, as well as introducing Clarice Starling. Season 5 was to adapt Silence of the Lambs, similar to the original version of Clarice but with a few minor changes, with season 6 to adapt the novel Hannibal, and finally a standalone 7th season focused on a brand new original story which would have tied up all the stories. Plans for this did change after season 2's less positive performance when it comes to ratings, however, with parts of the book Red Dragon, Hannibal Rising and Hannibal itself being used to expand the story for season 3, with the new plans for 6 seasons instead of 7. But when the show was cancelled, all the plans were dropped. Fuller still hopes that the show will be revived one day, but with the new TV show focusing on Clarice on its way, it's very doubtful Hannibal Season 4 will ever actually happen now. thank you for watching. I know this one's ridiculously shorter than my Godzilla one, but since that one hit like over an hour, I thought I'd do a nice quick one just to get myself back into it and to introduce that this is going to be the new series and format I'm doing from basically now on for YouTube. If you did enjoy, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Next month is going to be Friday the 13th with a video being released on the 13th. But until then, I hope you have an amazing rest of your month, and I'll see you all next month. Goodbye.